Hey guys, I'm Dan Casale, aka Dan Syndrome, and I'm from Hamilton, Ontario, and I play drums in the Forgotten Rebels. So what got me into punk? It was probably, actually I was a thrasher before I got into punk rock. I was into probably like the late 80s. I was like listening to like that San Francisco Bay Area thrash sound kind of kicked out. So I was like right into that. Like, so I was like into like Metallica, Megadeth, all that stuff that was happening then. Because it was new, fresh. But it was actually, I think it was it was Metallica actually when they did the Garage Days record. They had, it was the Misfits songs. I still remember in Last Caress, Green Hell. And I was just like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, so, you read the liner notes and everything, and then you're like, oh, the Misfits. Okay, well, you know what? I've heard of these guys because I used to collect, like Hit Parader and Circus Magazine, and you'd always see like in the back, the Crimson Ghost, and it was always there, the Misfits, and it was just like, who the fuck is this shit? I'm listening to like all this cock rock shit and thrash at the time, that was what was happening. So I was like, okay, well, let's go check this shit out. So I go to the store and I buy like fucking Misfit tape, and I was just like, this fucking shit's badass. I'm like, so that led into, well, obviously then Megadeth actually introduced me to the Pistols, because they did their version of Anarchy in UK on So Far So Good So What record, and I was just like, oh fuck, this song fucking rules. I'm like, I gotta like Sex Pistols. Okay, let's go check that out. And so I pick up Never Mind the Bullets, and I'm just like, this fucking record rules. And so basically just kind of like, it was more, I guess, the influences of the bands I was listening to that kind of got me into going back and like getting into it. And also, like, I had a friend that was, I guess she was like at the time probably like she was like a punk rock, but we used to call them like mods too back in the day. And she had, she introduced me to like, the Forgotten Rebels. It was like, I remember that tape, In Love with the System, was going around. And this is like 1988, 89. And I still remember that tape was going around, and also the Entitled one. That was happening. I was like, what is this? This is like awesome. Like, cause I love like Surfing on Heroin, all these like cool songs. And then, so basically that's kind of what got me into it, and kind of edged out of the thrash, got more into the punk, and oi. I just, I'm just like so eclectic with my sound. Like, I love all that old stuff. But I also like, industrial music and all, like, whatever is good, I like it. I'm easy. That's what the girls say. So, yeah. Main influences. Can't, you know what? I'm like a sponge. I like to, I just absorb everything. But like, drums, I would say I love 70s drummers, like the 70s rock drummers. I'm not a, like I was heavily influenced off John Bonham. I know it's really weird to think that I'd be totally into like that kind of stuff, but Bonham, like Ian Pace from Deep Purple, Scott Ashton, I guess from Stooges. I just love dirty rock drumming, like Keith Moon. I love that the chaotic, chaos in time, and like, yeah, those guys rule. But I do love like old big band jazz. Like Buddy Rich is the fucking king. I don't care what anyone says. Like to watch that man, I just sit there, my jaw drops, and basically I just want to like give up drums, quit, because he's just so good. But yeah, other than that, the punk though, it's really weird though. I don't really have any punk rock drummer influences because I don't think really any of them do anything for me. I do, as one influence though, that probably like a person I know was who I just like loved his drumming style was Brian Christopher from the Sinisters, and his style. I remember because when I used to play Riot Star, like we were like their baby brother band, and I just watched these guys play, and they were just like insane to watch. But Brian's drumming, I was just always like, whoa. Like it's like that whole. It was like chaotic in time. Very had that good old late 70s punk sound, like almost like Clem Burke. He reminded me of Clem Burke from Blondie, and Clem Burke's amazing. But yeah, I looked up to Brian. He was awesome. Good dude, really good dude. They were all great dudes. But yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much my influences. Like I just absorb whatever cool riffs. If it's cool, I will try to learn it, and just absorb it into the whole board collective. So yeah, that's it. First concert, Metallica. 1989 and Justice for All tour. Saw my Cops Coliseum. That was my first arena show, and it was fucking killer. First punk show, believe it or not, it was the Forgotten Rebels. I illegally snuck in underage at the Corktown to check those guys out, and it was fun. Favorite show? Huh. Fuck. I would have to say, because it's just been like, I was waiting for so long for this to happen. The actual original Misfits concert. I saw them 2019. They did the Madison Square show. And it was with Rancid, and also I'm pretty stoked about it because I missed The Damned opened up for that show too, but I missed The Damned when they came around, like in Toronto. It's when Captain Sensible fell off the stage. Unfortunately, I was playing a show that night, so I didn't get to see that show. But man, it was like amazing. It was like The Damned, Rancid, and the original Misfits. And it was fucking amazing. I will pay $350 for that ticket again to see that, because Danzig was amazing. And other show would be probably always going to be your first show. And I have to say that Metallica and Justice for All tour that I saw, that it's just, I don't know. It's the first concert that I ever saw in an arena. It was an amazing show, and that will always, like, it just sticks in my brain. So, and they were like on fire back then. That's when like that band was hungry. Other than that, yeah, those are like probably the two shows for me that stick out. Like, I mean, I've seen 1,000 shows, but like, yeah, I'm gonna go with those. Bands I've been in. I am a band slut. I've been with the Forgotten Rebels for 17 years. My first Riot Star, which is one of my favorite punk bands. It was one of my first bands. We were crazy, we were nuts. I loved it. Don't remember a lot of those days. I've been with the Poison Arrows. I've done the Nasties. I've done the Unteens with Gene Champagne, who was the drummer for the Killjoys. We did a little thing. What else we got here? I did not out to Sandy Robertson. Remember that band? The Unknown Band with the two douchebags? Yeah, we figured we'd try some of this new metal bullshit. That didn't pan out. Yeah, those are the days, hey Sandy. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, I think I've covered that. I'm pretty sure there might be some things I'm missing, but I'm old and I can't remember stuff. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Oh yeah, band I did a record with was West Memphis Suicide, which was like a hard rock band. It was actually a really good record though. But yeah, those. Craziest thing that's happened at a show that I've played. Oh, Riot Star. I'd say I remember this Dante show. This is God. I don't remember. Probably like late '90s, early 2000s, maybe. No, I think it was late '90s. Anyways, moving on. That show was fucking nuts. We were playing with Haymaker. It was the two of us. Haymaker came up, did their set. And I just remember we were going on, we got through one song, and then as soon as we got into our second song, I just remember all of a sudden shit just hit the fan. Like stuff was flying around, furniture. I was dodging ashtrays. It was just nuts. All of a sudden, I just remember everything kind of stopped. I'm just kind of like standing up, looking around. Like I got my dick in my hand, and I'm like, what the fuck? And next thing you know it, I'm like, there's police coming in, and I just remember seeing friends being like pepper sprayed. There was friends I saw being carried out by SWAT police. Yeah, it was pretty fucking nuts. But that was what happened when we played. So there was another time I remember. Also, it was a bar called it used to be Grapes and Things. It used to be called, but then it was called Joe Badinsky's, I think, after. And I still remember. I believe it was a Riot Star show. It was our show, and I think we had. I think it was with Dirty Bird, to tell you the truth. I think Dirty Bird opened up for us, and I remember dude, we were a mess, and I remember playing, and my Tim Back, my bass player, rest in peace. He loved his beer. And I still remember him laying down looking over, and he's on the ground. And I think it was Curtis Gordon, who was the old drummer for Haymaker, and Left 4 Dead's drummer. And Curtis, with a pitcher, would sit there and just standing up while Tim's on the ground. He's just dropping like beer into his mouth, and Tim's just gobbling it up. And then all of a sudden, this flying pig's heart comes flying at the stage, and it's like this bloody pig's heart, and there's blood everywhere, and this thing is just like this pig's heart's flying around everywhere. Everyone's getting blood all over them. Man, yeah, that was pretty crazy. And I think for other crazy stuff that I've seen, I've got scars to prove like we were like fucked up. Polos. I remember this is a show we did in Hesville. It's still all Riot Star. And I remember our ritual used to be. This is where I was going to tell you about that story. Our ritual used to be we all drink Old E's, the Old English, and the ritual was we'd get like an 8-ball blow, eight Old English, and the ritual was we just chop these fucking lines up, boom, 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 and we slug these Old Englishes back. And back then the Old E used to have you remember the old picture in the label inside. So once we got down to enough where we saw the label, then we'd all just smack down, bust these rails out, and then it was like go time. So then all of a sudden, I still remember getting on stage, we go into these songs, start playing it, and Mark is still downstairs, not even up, like ready to go, but like when his cue to like start singing, this dude in like this like fuzzy like zebra print coat comes zipping up the stairs, shoots across the stage, and he's like on his stomach and grabs the mic in like perfect time and like just starts giving her, and then like we just do the set. But like then it was, I don't even know why I thought of this, but we thought at that night we need blood, so I'm like, whoa, let's smash that beer bottle and run it down my arm. And so, yeah, that's where I got this big scar here. I let Mark run a beer bottle down my arm. And then, so when I was playing, this blood would just be going all over the place. It was, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Well, I wasn't because it was high. And it was this, I was borrowing a white drum set from some dude. Oh, it was the high school hookers. And I totally just like blood all over, like all my DNA is everywhere, like all the germs and everything. So I was just like, yeah, that's pretty rad. Ended up going to the emergency room because Mark used to like bang his head with his microphone, and he would like just like start bleeding from his forehead. So at the end of the night, it's just like someone's like tells me like, hey man, you need to go to the emergency room, like you're bleeding everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, that might be a good idea. So we go to the emergency room, and me and Mark are just sitting in this emergency room, and we're like, he's bleeding out the forehead, I'm bleeding out here. Meanwhile, we're waiting for a doctor. Mark is up top looking for fucking needles. I don't know what he's doing, just looking for stuff in the doctor's office. And finally come in and they stitch me up. And the doctor was really cool because he's like, he tried to take my tattoo and he actually put it all together so it all matched up. So that's my crazy days story. I think that's pretty fucked up. What do I like about being a musician? I'm an attention whore. Yeah, I like it. But no, I you know what? Drums for me is an outlet. I got into drum. Actually, my mom asked me if I wanted to play an instrument when I was little, and I remember seeing my uncle had a drum set when I was like, I think I might have been like 9 years old, and I thought this thing was fascinating. And instantly when she was like, you guys want to take lessons or music? And I'm like, what do you want to play? I'm like, drums. So I like it because it's kind of therapeutical for me because like I was hyper. It helped me relax. When I'm angry, I get to picture people's faces on my skins and get to beat them, which is pretty cool, and not go to jail. And I just like entertaining. I love shows. I just like the whole, you're giving yourself to people. It's an energy. I think it's an energy thing. I just like I give and then I receive the energy, and it's just like I get high on it. That's probably I'm pretty bummed out with this whole COVID thing, not getting able to play. I don't even think I remember how to play drums anymore, to tell you the truth. But yeah, that's definitely sex, drugs, rock and roll. I like yeah. Things I hate about musician. I'm broke, bro. There's no money in it. And I'm pretty bummed that, I can't be out there doing this as a job. It would be great, But yeah, I think it's just I just wish not being able to live on being a musician is a bummer. So really, that's the only con to it, man. Music rules. Yeah. Most useless talent. Did you know that I can turn beer into vomit? Oh shit, I just gotta catch someone. What is your favorite food? Oh, no, sorry. What is my favorite food? I'm very barbecue steak and potato kind of guy, and definitely Italian food. But fuck it. Hey Steve, let's get Sandy, Bigley, and Kegger. Let's go get some Taco Bell.